Disguise. This is my design, but we're not here together. Mirror, mirror, tell me who you see. Am I you or me? I can never remember. I found myself by losing hope. I lost my way to find a home. I hid myself to stay alive. Now I'm ready to face my disguise. Never let go, never let go, never go. I am locked within the box I built from the inside out, reassured by my doubt. I don't want this fucking codependent vice, but desperate measures call for desperate lives. I found myself by losing hope. I lost my way to find a home. I hid myself to stay alive. Now I'm ready to face my death. Sick of wearing a mask, sick of hiding my face, sick of every motherfucker that is in my way. Sick of digging for answers while you bury the truth. Fuck your methods to my sadness, I will bury you. Dig! I will not become a figure of my mistakes. I will not become the mask that is my fate. You can't turn down anger, you can't silence pain. You will not put out the fire that burns in me, that burns in me. I sold myself to my disguise. I hid myself to stay alive. I found myself by losing hope. I lost my way to find a home. I hid myself to spite my eyes. I was losing myself in my destiny. Right for love, safe and sound. Time I borrowed. I'm ready to face my disguise. Never let go, never let go, never go. Never let go, never let go, never go. Some days I'm narcissistic, some days I'm in my way. Some days I try to sleep with pins and needles in my brain. Some days I feel sadistic, a portrait of my pain. And some days I live in fear that I am every fucking thing I hate. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Follow me down under the skin I am down. Feeding the flies in my mouth through my eyes. I'm gonna be fine. days I feel addictive, some days I feel alone. Some days I fear the worst in me is the best you'll ever know. Some days I feel the static with everyone I know. Some days I feel like I just want to slit a motherfucker's throat. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Follow me down under the skin I am down, feeding the flies in my mouth through my eyes. I'm gonna be fine. Swallow the pain, selling my sorrow for shame. Sanity circles the train with a smile. I'm gonna be fine. I know that I'm gonna be fine. I know that I'm gonna be fine. I know that I'm gonna be fine. Oh God, am I gonna be fine? Bright lights, am I dead or alive? Someone say I'm not losing my mind. I made a deal with the devil inside. Oh God, I'm gonna be fine. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Decay and follow me down under the skin I am down, feeding the flies in my mouth through my eyes. I'm gonna be fine. Swallow the pain, selling my sorrow for shame. Sanity circles the train with a smile. I'm gonna be fine. Everything you know is the focus, live in the moment. Don't ask a question why. Listen to the sound of the virus. You can't deny this. Get up and amplify. Chemical, the fix that makes me feel like I overdosed in stereo and lose control of real. Can't believe that's real. Of my mind, of my soul, we unite to write a code. So please your message at the town, 'cause we don't have to feel alone, feel alone. Don't pray for me when you're the one to blame. Don't think of me when you go up in flames. Don't pray for me when you're the one enslaved. Don't wish me well in your fantasy. Don't pray for me. You know the dead can't hear you. The holy will is dry. So when you face the truth, open your fucking eyes. You fabricate a scratch. Reaching to fill your pockets. What's your cry is counterfeit. You love to play the victim. Cannot even. And you can't analyze yourself while you have this crown of shit. Don't pray for me when you're the one to blame. Don't think of me when you go up in flames. Don't pray for me when you're the one enslaved. Miracles, just fantasy. You get what you pray for. You don't get anything. Laying upon what existence is. So give up the pain, give up the king coach. Just give up the Holy Ghost. You won't get what you pray for. Won't get what you pray for. Won't get what you pray for. Forged in blood, etched in bone, the sacrifice, the war we know. I can feel it in my veins, laced with gold, but rich with pain. Do you want it? Die for it. Nothing is ever given till you work for it. The choices that we make echo eternity. I'm not afraid to stand up. This I'm never gonna give up. I'm lightning, no fear, just So everybody stand up, fists up, never gonna give up. I'm lightning, no fear, just adrenaline. Jetpack, heart attack, thunder for a soundtrack. Deep of the scars I will leave. Black is the blood I will bleed. And nothing will hide underneath. What I'm tired of feeling comatose. I've lost the me that I love most. I'm barely holding on to smoke. I'm barely holding on to smoke. I'm not addicted, but I'm not clean. Why do I do this to myself on repeat? So disconnected from my own reality. Am I man or machine? If I give, will you take? As I lie for the taste, I just fuck it up. Trying to let it up. The flesh and bone, I walk alone. If I run, will I fade away? 'Cause I don't wanna leave it behind. In all my pride, all my shame, I find strength enough to show you I may bend, but I won't break. 'Cause I define who I, define who I become. Mystery that I have not met, choking in silence on the words left unsaid. I feel a sickness for a home I've never been, and I exist in black and white, but now I'm seeing red. I built a shelter in complacency, locked myself in and set fire and threw away the key. Too scared to live, but I'm afraid to die. So am I living or am I just alive? All my pride, all my shame, I find strength enough to show you I may bend, but I won't break. I define who I become. 'Cause I'm tired of feeling comatose. I've lost the me that I loved most. I'm barely holding on to smoke, but I'm holding on, I'm holding on. I'm holding on to right the wrong. Connected, that I feel so separated. Through flesh and bone, I stand alone. In silence, the voice remains. Behind my eyes, beneath my rage, I was struggling to get through. Out of time and out of faith, I define who I become. In all my pride, all my shame, I find strength enough to show you I may bend, but I won't break. 'Cause I define who I, define who I become. I am feeling comatose. I've lost the me that I love most. I'm barely holding on to smoke, but I'm holding on, I'm holding on. I'm tired of being human, tired of being numb, waiting for the Holy Ghost to come. So save me from the webs that I have spun. I'm holding on, holding on. I'm holding on, holding on to smoke. If I can't let you go, will darkness divide? For the fiction of love is the truth of our lives. We were playing for keeps, but we both knew the cost. Now the only way out in your heart-shaped box
Good evening. You're listening to Broadcasting from Beyond the Grave. Tonight's chilling episode, Death Incorporated.
Can you hear the bell toll? Level scarecrow radio burning like a star in a black hole. Did you get the memo? Pretty tight though, Romeo cutting you up like a Van Gogh. You're not fucking with us, we're not fucking with you, so you can fuck yourself and your puppet suits. You're the Wizard of Oz, we've got nothing to lose, so you can fuck yourself and your little dog too. Yeah, you can fuck yourself, we've got nothing to prove. We are the weirdos in your stereo disco freak show. We are the weirdos in the microphone supernatural. From beyond, yeah, don't belong, yeah, turn it on, yeah. From beyond, yeah, don't belong, yeah, turn it on, yeah. Incorporated.
I'll tell you who I am and what I am.
Do you feel like a psycho? Dirty needle rodeo, painting your disease like a digital Picasso. Feeling so bad that nobody's gonna need you. Spitting in your grave, but nobody's gonna hear you. We are the weirdos in your stereo disco freak show. We are the weirdos in the microphone supernatural. Now,
trying to fucking record this. Sorry.
I've got a shotgun, tongue and tick like a time bomb, all black everything. I've got a switchblade with the cuts like a bitch, and I think you too should meet. I wanna break
wanna break free from my humanity. I wanna release the darker side of me. But break free your curiosity. You're gonna give me what I need. Yeah, I've still got blood on my hands, no guilt on my conscience. Following your past, respecting your violence. All of the flaws I wear it with honor. A purple heartbreak for all we've suffered. I am the enemy, I am the enemy, I am the enemy. Hate to take the day, I'll be the enemy, enemy. I'll be the enemy, enemy, enemy.
I got a brand new, I got a brand new love. I got a brand new, I got a brand new, I got a brand new love.
Give me liberty or death. Charge me more and pay me less. I said give me liberty or death. Just give me death. Let's go! Yeah! This one's for the underdog. Blood on my hands, no guilt on my conscience. So war in your past, your mind is the target. All of the flaws, I wear it with honor. A purple heartbreak for all we've suffered. I am the enemy, I am the enemy, I am the enemy. I'll be the enemy, enemy. I'll be the enemy. Brand new numb.
Catharsis in darkness, when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer.
Catharsis in darkness, when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer. This feeling's getting a bit harder to control. A place to feel completed or a place to be alone. The rhythm of rebellion from the rattle in your bones. A sonic liberation, salvation in your headphones. Darkest disguise, leave it at the door. Right lights divine.
Leave your body on the floor.
Catharsis in darkness, when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer. Stand in the shadows, entertaining the unknown. The words I always needed, like I wrote them on my own. I sing for absolution, for the cleansing of my soul. Narcotic is the beating of our hearts to the tempo. Holding through time, leave it at the door. Right lights divine.
Leave your body on the floor.
Catharsis in darkness, when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that
catharsis in darkness when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer.
Catharsis in darkness when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer. This feeling's getting a bit harder to control. A place to feel completed or a place to be alone. The rhythm of rebellion from the rattle in your bones. A sonic liberation, salvation in your headphones. Darkest disguise, leave it at the door. Right, divine.
Leave your body on the floor.
Catharsis in darkness when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer. Stand in the shadows, entertaining the unknown. The words I always needed, like I wrote them on my own. I sing for absolution, for the cleansing of my soul. Narcotic is the beating of our hearts to the tempo. Holding through time, leave it at the door. Right, divine.
Leave your body on the floor.
Catharsis in darkness when you can't seem to feel a thing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer.
Catharsis in darkness when you can't seem to feel a thing. The darkness that haunts you.
Catharsis in darkness, a place to feel the words we sing. The absence that haunts you won't hurt much longer. told me you had a boyfriend and looked like a girlfriend, but I hadn't thought you